Hey now, ladies and gentlemen, hour number 4. My final hour of the week, baby. Yeah. And then I'm up out of here, man. I'm up out of here to work and slave over yard work as my wife is going to be keeping a close eye on me, making sure I'm getting the job done. Yeah. Earnest Financial bringing you this part of the show. RetireWithEarnest.com. Retire earnestly. That's right. Your money. You worked for it. You saved it. You deserve to have it when you retire. And that's not a given. That's not a guarantee that that money is going to be there or that it's going to be what you thought it was, unless you get protection. That's what they do. They put you in the exact places you need to be in order to make your money work for you, to make it grow. And then when you get to retirement, you're like, dang, bro, I got so much more money than I thought I was going to have. I'm going to get to do all the things I wanted to do. That's what it's about. Doesn't cost you anything. A little time on the phone with David Ernest. They get their fees elsewhere, not from you. And let them work their magic. When you got a guy and a group of people that have been doing this over 40 years, you know they're helping people. They do it every single day. So I want you to reach out. The number 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-7233. Online, retirewithernest.com. That's retirewithernest.com. When you talk to them, make sure you tell them Andrew McLean sent you. You don't have to be from Birmingham. You don't have to be from Huntsville, from Montgomery. You can be out of state and still get David Ernest working for you. So call him and let them know that your boy sent you. So, sad day for Birmingham, man. A sad week for Birmingham as we find out about Christina Chambers. And I'm getting more information on what she what she was doing. Apparently, from what I hear, and I hope this is correct, that she was the broadcast communications teacher at Thompson, which is yet another, group of people that are going to be, absolutely devastated by this if she was in fact a faculty member at Thompson. But one thing I did find out was that she was the sideline reporter this past season for the Samford games. And everybody knows Damian Mitchell is one of the two play callers or color commentary up in the booth for the Samford home games, and Christina was their sideline reporter. So Damian is, I'm talking to him just over text, but I can imagine that he's pretty devastated by this as well. And you think about, for her in particular, how many lives she touched or how many people she knew from her previous stops at, different TV stations, to WBRC, to Thompson, to the Samford games with Damian and his coworkers. It's just so sad, so sad. And I hate it for her family, her child, obviously. And I don't know, man. What do you say about it? It's just not a good situation. So we'll see. I mean, as radio people, we sit here and let these things play out and bring you whatever information we find. We'll see what investigators there in Hoover say as to what prompted this. Because we don't know how any of it played out. We don't know if it's the husband snapped and committed this murder suicide or what went down, but that's really not even important at this point in the wake of this tragedy. All that information will come out in due time. All right, let's go. ICE. We talk a lot about ICE. We love ICE. ICE arrests 223 illegal aliens in an Indiana highway operation. 146 of them were truck drivers. Kristi Noem announced that a joint operation between ICE and the Indiana State Police resulted in the arrest of 223 illegal aliens along Indiana highways near the Illinois border, including 146 truck drivers. The operation, conducted in northwest Indiana as part of a Chicago-based Operation Midway Blitz, targeted individuals involved in offenses including DUI, drug trafficking, burglary, assault, child abuse, domestic battery, prostitution, and fraud. More than 40 of those arrested had been issued commercial driver's licenses, primarily from Illinois, California, and New York. ICE has also conducted roadside enforcement actions in multiple states, including New York, detaining drivers holding valid commercial licenses issued by other states. Federal and state officials said these operations were intended to address public safety risk associated with illegal aliens operating commercial vehicles, and cited recent fatal crashes as justification for the coordinated enforcement, particularly in and around sanctuary jurisdictions. That operation followed federal audits that identified widespread CDL fraud and improper issuance practices across multiple states. Federal officials estimate that as many as 130,000 undocumented truck drivers may be operating in the United States, with tens of thousands believed to have obtained licenses through illegitimate means. Now, it says the Trump administration's threatened to withhold highway funding from states that fail to comply with federal audits and revoke licenses issued under questionable circumstances. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned that New York could lose up to $73 million in federal highway funding if the state fails to address audit findings within 30 days. Similar funding threats have been directed at California with $160 million, Texas at $182 million, and Minnesota at $30 million. And money talks. Like, this is the right way to go about it, is to withhold funding, because that gets these people to start to move, because they need the funding. They need to keep their roads fixed. You know, even people that don't pay attention to politics, if they have crappy roads, they blame the government. They know who's responsible for it, as they're all paying taxes at the same time. And that ultimately ends up in political damage. And that's the language they speak. They don't care about people. They don't care about potholes. They don't care about they don't care about crime rates. They don't care about illegal immigrants. What they care about is the political blowback of those things, the political capital that comes with these issues. That's their concern. Not the problems themselves, not the solutions themselves, but how does it affect them politically? That's what everything runs on. And so here we go. You want your money? You're going to have to follow the law. That's all we ask you to do. Follow the law, because we can't import people from the third world, give them licenses where they can barely speak English, if not no English at all, don't know how to read road signs, don't know how traffic flows in this country, and expect people to not get hurt. We've seen it over and over and over and over. So use the money. Use the money to force them into doing what you need them to do. The Biden administration did that. They forced manufacturers to buy into the Green New Scam and said that if you don't, we're going to withhold money. This is not a new tactic. This is not a Trump thing. Trump's just doing what the previous administration was doing. As a matter of fact, speaking of trucks, Ford is having to take a massive $9.5 billion hit in their electric vehicle bust. This is what the Biden administration did. They had money that they offered companies like Ford in order to make electric vehicles. Now, the people at Ford knew good and well that the electric vehicle business was not going to be a good business. It was not enough to sustain the company. And so they went along with it. They started making electric F-150s. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, I don't want to buy an electric F-150. And so they were continuing to get hit while being subsidized by the federal government. They were kind of, trying to balance it out, and Ford's just doing what they can do to stay in compliance. But now that that's gone and the Green New scams have been wiped out, Ford is having to just scrap the entire electric vehicle, electric F-150 gimmick, and it's going to cost them $19.5 billion. They poured billions of dollars into producing electric vehicles as Joe Biden and the Biden administration waged war on gas-powered vehicles. They previously reported they lost billions of dollars on their electric vehicles. Even before this, the EVs have been and proven to be an absolute money pit for Ford. So yesterday, they announced they're scrapping their electric vehicles after being forced to write down $19.5 billion. They said, quote, this is Jim Farley, Ford president and CEO, "This is a customer-driven shift to create a stronger, more resilient, and more profitable Ford. The operating reality has changed, and we are redeploying capital into higher return growth opportunities. Ford Pro, our market-leading trucks and vans, hybrids, and high-margin opportunities like our new battery energy storage business." Fortune says the Dearborn, Michigan-based automaker will make a series of changes to its line of vehicles and production facilities to focus on producing affordable vehicles that better align with customer desires. The company will also scrap production of certain larger EVs, including the F-150 Lightning, which it will retool as an electric vehicle with gas-powered generator, as well as redoubled development of smaller, lower-cost cars, including a mid-sized pickup truck in 2027. Boy, man, nothing sounds better than an electric vehicle that's got a gas-powered generator on it, huh? That sounds like a great idea. I saw this video one time, and it was a Cybertruck that was driving down the road, and on the back, it was carrying a trailer, and on the trailer was a gas-powered generator that was plugged up to the Tesla, plugged up to the charger. So they were essentially just running it off of gas. Oh, man. Oh, Green New Energy, man. It's something else, ain't it? It is something else. Only cost the company $20 billion. But hey, whatever. Right? Whatever. I mean, we told everybody it wasn't going to work, but nobody listened. It's whatever. It's fine. No big deal. No big deal. 205-545-9950. Quick break back after this. ChuckDavisLaw.com. Chuck Davis. You need an attorney? I got you an attorney. That is yours truly, Chuck Davis. Dealing with divorce, dealing with custody battles, dealing with wrongful death. You've got personal injury, car wrecks, all these different things, slip and fall. You need some representation on your side that's going to care about you and care about the outcome of this, and not just consider you, another file in the filing cabinet. Chuck's not going to do that. He's going to take care of you, especially when you mention you're part of the Hey Now Nation. Chuck's got you covered. Same with probate contracts and wills. Get those wills taken care of. That's something that applies to everybody. You never know when your day is going to come. So get them taken care of. Make sure all of your belongings go where you want them to go, to the people you want them to go to. Otherwise, your family's going to be spiraling out of control, fighting over your stuff, and you don't want to leave that. You don't want to leave that as a legacy. Get it taken care of. Call him up. Tell him I sent you. 205-823-9992. 205-823-9992. Online, ChuckDavisLaw.com. No representation is made that the legal services provided are superior to the legal services provided by other lawyers. Frank's on the line. Frank's, what's up?
Yeah, I was listening to you talking about Ford, and other companies have been dealing with this too. And my problem is this. If instead of losing $20 billion to build batteries and electric cars, they have the technology. Why don't they make the vehicles they got now more fuel efficient? I mean, listen, it wasn't that long ago. I had a Toyota that would get 35, 40 miles of the gallon, and that was a few years back. And now it's like they have all these regulations, all these parts and pieces they put on for emissions. Why don't they just get rid of the crap and get back to making it more fuel efficient for what we got now? I'm sure batteries and eventually will come around to the point where they're efficient enough to use. But it's like we want to jump the gun and have technology evolve before it's ready to evolve.
Yeah, and I don't know what they mean by retooling their trucks as an electric vehicle with a gas-powered generator. Maybe that's part of that. But they have moved in that direction over the years with hybrids and things of that nature. But that I agree. I mean, that's where the concentration should be, is how to make it, more fuel efficient for the consumer to then, have a fuel efficient vehicle that still is sturdy and durable and does the things that your normal gas powered vehicle would do.
Well, yeah, the batteries they have now, just think about all the problems they have. When they start burning, you can't even put them out.
Right.
And technology is just not there yet. It's like we try to jump the gun and push technology past to where it really is and try to sell an idea of, but this is the future and it's here and it's now, when it's really not.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree. And hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's what they're doing. Maybe in this retooling process, they do put more concentration on that. But I'm glad the electric vehicle, forcing it down everybody's throat all at once experiment is finally over and we can move on. And like you said, one day they'll get to where they are efficient and a lot of people can have them, but now's not that time.
All right. Well, have a good day, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, talk.
Here's Frank. Yeah, it's kind of a well, it's not really complicated, but it's an issue where you can be on both sides of the argument, where you can say, yes, I think electric vehicles are super cool. I think they're awesome. I love how they drive. I love how quiet they are, how fast they go. But the idea from the Democrats and their pursuit to create green energy was to push this on the American people at breakneck speeds and not allow any time for a process to play out to where we can make sure that we're getting, the best of the best. There's some extremely smart people that work on these things. And every day they're researching and they're brainstorming and they're trying to figure out ways for these vehicles and all vehicles to be more effective. Because the more effective it is, the more likely it's going to sell. But it's not something you can just do over the course of a year or 2 years or even 3 years. You got to give it time. Encourage the innovation, but don't get halfway through the innovation and tell everybody that they've got to be driving it or that they've got to have that product. It's not going to work. It's never going to work. And this story right here proves that to be true. I just heard in that promo with Richard Dixon talking about the deal with Moody's football team, and I saw their punishment. Remember, they were caught, or they took pictures of them, but they were smoking cigars after they won the state championship, and that's a problem because these are high school kids, and it's illegal for them to be smoking cigarettes. Because I think the age is to smoke is or to use tobacco products is 21. So there was likely no 21-year-olds in there as far as the football players. They leveled their punishment, and the AHSAA said that, let's see, they are fining the program and placing them on probation for displaying flagrant unsportsmanlike conduct in violation of Eligibility Rule 1, Section 17. The flagrant unsportsmanlike conduct occurred following the high school, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we know all that. It says, as a result, 4 Moody assistant football coaches, the head coach, the head football coach, and the 10 Moody players involved in the incident will not be allowed to participate in the 2026 spring or fall jamboree game and the first regular season game of the 2026 season. For the players who have no football eligibility remaining, an additional fine of $250 is being assessed per player. Who's getting the $250? What do you... My Lord, some of this seems kind of silly, but, you know, I guess they got to do something. $250 fine is being assessed per player. If the coaches or players are no longer at Moody High School next season, the suspension will be assessed at the schools they are attending. In addition, Moody High School will be responsible for the cost of repairing any damage to the Protective Stadium dressing room. That's wild. Listen, man, you can't do it. You know, there's not much to there's not much to say. I mean, I guess you got to punish them in some way. And I don't know what the proper punishment would be, but interesting story nonetheless. I'm not advocating, obviously, for children to be smoking cigars or using tobacco products, but it's just the punishment levy just is kind of humorous to me for some reason. Let's see. How about this? How about Underdog Fantasy? That's right. You hear me talk about Underdog all the time, and I'm going to talk about them again. Underdog Fantasy, the app. Download the app. Use my promo code HEYNOW, all one word, HEYNOW, to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. As you know, you're just going through and picking players and deciding if they're going to go higher or lower on stats. You just higher or lower. There's 2 options per player. You get your picks right, you win some money. It's really that simple. I mean, you win real money. Do y'all remember that there used to be commercials or ads all the time about these games where it's like, oh, if you play bingo or you play solitaire, you can win money, and you know, you can win $100 on your PayPal or whatever. Don't worry about that. Worry about a place you can really win money, up to 5,000 times your cash, and play with as little as $1. So here's what you do. You download the app today and use promo code HEYNOW to score $75. I think I said 100. I meant $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. No, I take that back. It is 100. Okay, so let me reset. Here we go. Download the app today and use promo code HEYNOW to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code HEYNOW. Underdog, make plays, win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Tommy is on the line. Tommy, what's up?
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey, there's a wreck westbound 280 at Doug Baker. Looks like it's got both lanes pent up right now, but it looks like a pretty bad one. It's traffic all the way over the hill going towards Chelsea.
So this is on, you said 280?
280
Yeah.
westbound at Doug Baker.
Okay, yeah, that right before. Looks like the wreck is right before Hugh Daniel Drive. So that's coming up on 119. Yeah.
That's it. It's pretty backed up.
Gotcha. Well, appreciate the heads up, man.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
All right, you too, my friend. There's Tommy coming through. Clutch. It's 2 lanes right there, I believe. Let me look at the camera. Yeah, it's 2 lanes right there when you're heading towards 119, coming up 280 towards Birmingham. And as he said, it's right there at Doug Baker Boulevard. Doesn't look like a super, because I'm looking at the camera right now. I mean, I guess, yeah, it's, I don't know if there's 2 cars involved in it. I see one. I don't know where the other one is. Sorry, I've only got a certain camera. Anyway, they just got 1 lane open, and that's why traffic's creeping. So coming up 280 on your way to Birmingham, on your way to 119. That's a wreck. Need to be on the lookout. Let me make sure I'm not missing any other ones. Backing out. Let's see what you got for me. Algo. Just normal slowdowns. We do have a wreck going 65 south, and that one is right before the Hoover exit, the Highway 31 exit. And it looks like the right-hand lane and the right-hand shoulder is blocked, or maybe that's the turning lane, if you will, to get off on the Highway 31 Hoover exit. That's backed all the way up to Lakeshore, so that's a pretty bad one as well. You'll be on the lookout for that if you're going south on 65. So that's what you got. All right, we're approaching the end here. Where do I want to go? Let's see. We talked about trucks. We talked about we were talking about illegals. Oh, here's an interesting thing that I was going to talk about last week. So there's a Democrat representative named Henry Cuellar. Now, Henry Cuellar is, standard Democrat, toeing the party line and all that kind of stuff. But during the years of the Biden administration, as he is a rep out of Texas, he started sounding the alarms on the open borders. And he said to the Biden administration, hey, y'all have got to secure the border. We got to do something about that. And ironically enough, after criticizing Joe Biden, he was targeted by the Biden DOJ as a result of his comments. Cuellar and his wife were charged with bribery and money laundering last year. And as that was playing out, Joe Biden left office. Donald Trump looked at the situation, had his people look at it, and said, this guy's being politically targeted, and has issued he and his wife a pardon. They say it was a result of the extreme corruption of the Department of Justice under Biden. That is not a secret. We know it's there. Actually, Chuck Grassley even pointed out this morning he's got 2 new documents related to the Mar-a-Lago case over the fact that Joe Biden's DOJ and FBI knew, they said on paper, they knew they didn't have enough evidence to raid Mar-a-Lago, but they did it anyway. Trump was disappointed that Representative Cuellar decided to run again after the pardon. That seat could have been up for grabs for the GOP to increase their majority in the U.S. House. He took to Truth Social to express his frustration. That's actually pretty funny. He's like, I pardoned you, dude. Don't you quit. He's a little Republican. But who knows? A Republican might win, or hey, maybe Henry Cuellar will change his tune. Maybe he'll be a Trump guy, since Trump just literally saved him from prison. He said only a short time after signing the pardon, Congressman Henry Cuellar announced that he will be running for Congress again in the great state of Texas, a state where I received the highest number of votes ever recorded as a Democrat, continuing to work with the same radical left scum that just weeks before wanted him and his wife to spend the rest of their lives in prison, and possibly still do. Such a lack of loyalty, something that Texas voters and Henry's daughters will not like. Oh, well, next time, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You should have put that in the paperwork and be like, I'll pardon you, but you can't run anymore. So we'll see how that plays out. But actually, Cuellar, he went on Maria Bartiromo's show and was talking about what they now know about the Biden Justice Department coming after him. Mm-hmm. So you see how that works. And you also see it's a reminder as to why the Democrats are always seemingly on the same page. Because they know if they get out of line that bad things ultimately happen. Bad things happen. Sometimes people ask the question of, well, why didn't this person stick to their guns or that? Perfect example, Bernie Sanders in 2016. Right. Bernie Sanders had all the momentum in the world. Could have beat Hillary Clinton in the primary. It was a done deal that he could have pulled it off. Right. But instead, they pulled the rug out from under him, gave the nomination to Hillary Clinton. And instead of Bernie Sanders standing up and saying, this is not right, I'm going to continue to fight back against this, he just fell in line. They said, okay, well, we'll let Hillary Clinton be the nominee. Why? Because of stuff like that. You don't cross the paths of what the party wants. You don't do it. And while some people will say, well, the Democrat Party's like this, but the Republican Party is in chaos, there's the difference. The Democrat Party will set you up. If you don't do what they tell you to do, you'll be done for. And it also makes you wonder with cases like Bob Menendez, Gold Bar Bob Menendez. What did he do? Did he, in fact, cross the party as well? How long will it be before John Fetterman gets hemmed up on bribery charges? You think about some of these individuals just like, you better be careful, Coles, because that's what they do. You already knew that Biden DOJ was corrupt, and there was no low they wouldn't sink to. So this is child's play right here. If you want to keep your freedom, you better play ball, son. Mandu, bringing you this part of the show, Mandu.com, MANDUU.com. I love me some Mandu. I'll be there tomorrow getting my workout in right there in Homewood. 15-minute workout. That's all it is. You got a personal trainer and everything. They suit you up. They turn the machine on. They send electric pulses to your muscles, which stimulate your muscles the whole time. I say the whole time. So it'll stimulate, depending on where you're at, what level you're at. It'll stimulate your muscles for, say, 10 seconds. And then for 5 seconds, it'll stop. It'll come back on. It'll stop. And the whole time, your personal trainer's got you doing a workout. You're just using dumbbells. You're, doing stretches, things of this nature. And it gives you the workout of a lifetime. You will be a brand new person. Get that New Year's resolution started now by going to Mandu, trying the free session so you know what it's all about, and seeing what you think. You're going to love it, I'm telling you. Especially if you sign up and you stick to it, your life will change, I'm telling you. Call them up at this number, 205-438-6003. That's 205-438-6003. And online, Mandu.com, MANDUU.com. Also, Huntsville Mandu is open. 20 Town Center Drive in Huntsville. Here's their number, 256-808-0104. 256-808-0104. You can find their information on the website as well. And coming soon, in a matter of weeks, Mandu Tuscaloosa. For my Tuscaloosa people. Can't wait for y'all to try this out. You're going to absolutely love it. All the information's online, MANDUU.com. Back after this. Trump files a $10 billion defamation lawsuit against the BBC for doctoring that January 6th speech. Yeah, listen, if you are a media outlet and you get in the crosshairs of a Donald Trump lawsuit, like it ain't gonna be good. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. You don't want to get caught in that position. That's essentially getting caught with your pants down, because he's had some success with that as of late. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but it's just you don't want to. I mean, here's the thing: you could attempt to report things fairly and see if that works out for you. Who knows? Noto Roofing, NOTOroofing.com, NOTOroofing.com. 205-848-2299 is the number. I need y'all. I want y'all to go ahead and book an appointment. Like, I'm serious about this. Go ahead. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So go ahead and book an appointment. Get it done. You don't have to do it today. I mean, you don't have to book it for today or tomorrow or even this week. Do it later. Do it after Christmas. Just go ahead and get that in, because we as human beings, we end up procrastinating on some things. And if you do it while it's fresh on your mind, you got it done and it'll get done. So call them 205-848-2299. 848-2299. Make sure you tell them you're part of the Hey Now Nation. They will take care of you. And Alabama Men's Clinic, AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. Low T, guys, you don't want to spend Christmas with low T. You know, cuddling up with the wife at with the fireplace and the hot chocolate, watching movies. Don't be caught with ED. Hair loss, weight gain, all the things associated with low T can be fixed with the pros at Alabama Men's Clinic. Go to their website, all the info you need, AlabamaMen'sClinic.com, or call them and tell them I sent you. 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. Get yourself hooked up, man. You'll be feeling years younger. I'm out of here. I will see y'all next week. I love you long time. And until then, see you, cut.